The visually impaired. Now, Josh is going to be able to tell us the degree of visual impairment for each of the surfers. We've got one guy in the water here who's completely blind. Am I right, Josh?
Yeah, that's right. Completely blind. So that's Thomas. That's Thomas there. We can see him on the screen now.
And
in the
where's
red
Thomas
jersey.
from? Is he from
France? He's come along with Benoit. So I think they all surf together at their home.
Yeah.
So Alex is partially blind.
So Alex will paddle into a wave himself?
Yeah.
Does he have a spotter?
He does. I think sometimes, but sometimes he feels confident to go into the water on his own. But sometimes he does have people in the water with him.
Okay.
But I don't think there's anyone in there today.
Here he goes, Alexander Shrub. And where's Alex from?
It's
a bit held
I think
up.
he's with Naman.
Oh, so he's come from Israel?
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
On the blue board.
So he gets held up on that first one. There's a strong offshore wind now blowing into that wave, though, isn't there? So if you do take it a little bit too nonchalant into that takeoff, you get lifted.
Yeah.
So we will probably see a few competitors find it a bit tricky to get into that one by there. And Ashley Greenaway, then in the white, who has a score of 3.5, is the other surfer in this heat. I think we're going to see Thomas.
That's Thomas paddling into the fence now, as we are, and he's just sat down there.
So this is
completely blind.
No sight.
No sight at all. But he's an amazing surfer.
What a sensory experience it must be. There's the hills.
There's the sky.
And the wide-angle view here.
So me and Teddy were saying yesterday how the real feel of the wave really comes in people like Thomas.
Yeah.
Just the real feel and even the noise really, and just the general feel of the board.
All the other senses. You know, we think about not going surfing in the dark. I mean, it makes you wonder, doesn't it?
Yeah.
What can be done? And here he goes.
Paddling in confident.
And he got
popped up.
he's
Look
made
at
it.
that.
Wow.
Look at that.
No sight
That is
at
unreal.
all.
I don't think.
And runs into
into the fence.
Into the fence. Now that's.
He went into the fence there, I think.
But then, you know, he's not going to know it's there, is he? But then he's going to have that feedback loop. He's going to know. He's going to be able to bring that back round and think about it for next time. He's shouting. I love it. That frustrated stoke that they do. He's like, oh no, but you know, he doesn't care. What an incredible surfing performance that was. Now, here's a thought for you, right? Surfing's a sport that's all about having favourable wind, right?
Yeah.
In most of the world surf spots, when is the wind best?
When is the wind best?
Yeah.
Not when we're surfing.
In most of the world surf spots. Offshore, right? When's the wind most likely to be offshore in most of the world surf spots? Morning.
Yeah,
dawn,
morning,
evening, and through the night, right?
Through the night, yeah.
All the best waves in the history of this planet have broken in the dark.
In the night, yeah. Everybody
Chopu,
says this. How many misses?
Malibu, J-Bay, Trestles, all of these waves, they are the best they ever get in the dark.
Yeah.
And there's Thomas saying to us, what's the matter with us? Like,
what's going on
why
here?
are we sleeping through the best waves on the planet? Why, doesn't it make you think that?
It does,
you know,
it
why
does,
don't we get out there? You know, because that would still be like partial sight anyway, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
So Ashley Greenaway here. Now, I think Ashley is fully blind as well, isn't he?
I'm not sure, yeah.
You can see sometimes.
He can see a little bit sometimes. Again, that strong offshore is making that particular right-hander a little bit difficult to paddle into here. So we're going to see the left is going to be the easier way for these guys to catch. And so we've got a score of 5.53 for Thomas and the second one of 5.5. So he'll be thinking about that fence and how to avoid running into the fence.
I think he got a lot of speed on, didn't he? He got really high, and but obviously that's just a skill, like to be able to do that and I didn't even see the white. Caught in the white water.
Just needs a little bit more back foot, doesn't he? And to just track it back to that face a little bit, and maybe, you know, I saw him using his hands on the wave face too, so he maybe needs to kind of feel for where the wave face is a little bit steeper. But I think it's something he's going to crack. You know, these guys are getting these 6 waves, and as I said earlier, you know, this idea of adaptive surfing. These
Yeah.
guys have adapted to whatever challenges are in front of them. And that adaptive mindset, I think these guys learn to surf this wave here at Snowdonia quicker than, you know,
Anyone else?
whatever the opposite of adaptive
Yeah.
surfing is, unadaptive. And so here we go, the plough is in motion again, and here we go. Alex Shrub.
Oh, nice from Alex.
Oh,
Lovely,
great surfing,
lovely.
and drops back in again. This is going to be a big score here. And if he makes that turn,
Oh, that
I'm
was
not
amazing,
sure if
mate.
they'll give him a complete on that. Again, we're the commentators. We can listen to our heart and want it to be complete. The judges, though, they're the guys, they're the pros.
That
They're
is
going to be
really
sitting
good.
there.
Some really
and
strong surface.
They're going to be thinking that's not complete, don't you reckon, Josh? But he gets points for the first couple of turns,
Yeah, the
doesn't
first
he?
turns are really, really nice. So I think Alexander is surfs with Naman.
Right.
He's got a really strong training partner if they do train together. But it's just that camaraderie of them going out together when they're both at disabilities. So good to see, and they're obviously really, really strong surfers.
And you see the stoke that Naman
Yeah.
brings as well, you know,
Yeah,
and
it's
the
amazing.
energy that, you know, that's going to be good for anyone in terms of reaching their best surfing. So Da Silva will now get another stab, I think, if the running order is sticking to the way that it was
I
going.
think so, yeah.
And so we'll be seeing now if he can work out how to keep clear of that wall. So yeah, here we go. So this is Thomas Da Silva from France, has no sight whatsoever,
Completely blind.
and he's surfing and ripping. And he
You can
makes
see
the strong
pop-up,
offshore
the
takeoff.
pop-up is
Look at
so
that.
strong.
And he's going to get round it. That
Oh.
is unbelievable.
That was a really nice position though. It was really close.
Beautiful
to the fake-
takeoff.
faking wave.
Absolutely textbook. The way that is
His pop-up is so natural.
incredible. Because we talk about how, you know, when you're popping up on a wave that's relatively steep,
Yeah.
you don't want the head to go up. You want the head
No.
to stay exactly where it is.
Yeah.
You push the board down and you fill the gap in between.
Yeah.
And Thomas did that absolutely textbook there.
Yeah.
Board down the wave, head stays level, because your head is the heaviest part of you, so it's going to push
Yeah.
your centre of gravity over. So he then just is able to fill that body in. That front leg, lovely kind of kung fu stance there,
Yeah,
you know, a
yeah.
really nice solid front leg. And then look, he's getting the feedback. This is
Yeah.
the definition of adaptive surfing. Here's what happened on my last wave. Now how am I going to adapt it into my next wave? So I think I want to see Thomas go left again now, and I think go onto his forehand with the onshore wind behind him,
Yeah.
helping him into that takeoff. And I want to see how he can figure out to stay back in the pocket and away from that fence. He's got a
There we are, there.
6.23 for that wave.
You can see Thomas talking to Benoit there on the screen. You can see Benoit giving us some tips.
So after this next wave from Ashley, I'll give them some scores.
Here we go.
Here we go, Ashley. Oh, just on the outside rail.
Offset there.
And gets pushed out of the side of the takeoff zone. So a bit frustrating for Ashley there. He's not yet finding a backup score commensurate with his first score. So we'll get some information out to the surfers in the lineup. Surfer in white, your top score is a 3.5. White, your top score is a 3.5. So you're looking to back that 3.5 up. Surfer in yellow, Alexander Shrub, you have a 6.93 as your top score, which is the highest of the heat, and a 0.5 as the backup. That's a heat total of 7.43. You need a 4.83 to get into the lead. Surfer en rouge, Thomas Da Silva, vous avez des notes de 6.23 et 5.53. Donc vous avez besoin d'essayer de trouver quelque chose de meilleur que le 5.53. Vous êtes en tête. And so we'll see the plough go into motion, and this is going to be Alexander Shrub
Alexander here.
chasing down the 4.83. So he makes this and gets the 4.83, then Thomas is going to be... now there are two categories surfing together here, aren't they? So there we go, Alexander Shrub, he gets up on the backhand.
Nice position.
Oh, he's looking for a chance to do a
Really
lip,
high
but
there,
just slightly
really high.
overbalances it. How was he doing yesterday? You see Alexander surfing
yeah, Alexander
yesterday?
was surfing really well yesterday.
Yeah.
All of this division was surfing really well actually. I didn't see Thomas had two really good waves, and Alexander has some really good waves too. It's just phenomenal that they can't see, and they're still ripping with all the style, and they've got.
We do now have two categories together, don't we? The completely visually impaired and the partially visually impaired together.
Yeah, and obviously then the judges just take off a scale and they.
So that's what they're doing. They're running
Yeah.
the two guys head to head, but they're using a scale to.
Yeah, so
make
obviously
difference.
the more disability there are, then the higher the score will
Okay.
be.
So pound for pound, you might see Thomas get a few more points for something very similar to Alexander, and
Yeah.
that will be reflected in the
From the
level of
disability. Yeah.
sight.
Yeah.
So Alexander has taken the lead with that one. So surfer in yellow, you are now in the lead. Your last score was a 5.77. Surfer en rouge, vous êtes en deuxième place. Vous avez besoin d'un 6.14. En rouge. Oh, the mic's gone off. Here we go. And he heard it. He heard it. So this will be about keeping clear of that wall. Oh, and he's in the
Thomas,
pocket this
lovely
time.
pocket. Lovely
Just finds an
button turn.
outside rail though. So maybe slightly over-egged it the other way, but this is part of that adaptive process, you know. Last time it was too much that way, this time it's too much the other way, and so then, of course, what ends up happening is that he finds that medium along the way.
I think what looked like them is he went for a little bottom turn straight away. So maybe he's just trying to get, instead of just going straight down the line, trying to get a bit of a higher score and go for the turns. Maybe it's a little bit too early, but either way, it's still great surfing from Thomas.
Yeah. His style and control
It's unbelievable.
is incredible. So that was Thomas's fourth wave.
Yeah,
So the other guys have got,
another wave.
yeah, they got 3 more waves to go. And because they're getting 6 in this final, right? Yeah. So they've got 3. Thomas has got 2 to go, and it's anyone's really.
It's really close.
It's the closest final, yeah.
Just under 1 point between Thomas and Alexander Shrub.
Yeah.
This is the last heat, last point, and it's a half-hour break and
Okay.
prize giving. So people could, I think we'll tune back into that.
So we're going to have a half-hour break after this final. This is the last of the finals, and then there's going to be a presentation, and the live stream will be
Oh, there we
on for
go.
the presentation.
lovely.
Greenaway makes one and takes the drop. Takes the drop. That must have been a good buzz for him there, and he's straight back up on the board. And you can see the stoke there. I mean, surfing is, you know, it's why we're here, isn't it?
Yeah,
Josh, it's the best feeling in the world.
it is, isn't it?
I don't really understand why the whole world doesn't surf. And these guys certainly don't understand why the whole world
Yeah,
doesn't
no.
surf, because it hasn't stopped them surfing at all, has it?
No.
So
Agreed.
obviously we don't want the whole world to surf totally, because then your beloved post Cariad will be, you know, which we've publicised widely on
Yeah,
this
we have.
programme today. You know. Any other secret spots you want to tell us about?
No, just the one in them. There's a really good surf beach in Pwllheli.
Is that a right-hander?
Oh, the best thing you'll
I-
ever see.
Yeah. I
Way better than Cariad. or
is it?
Tasman.
Okay, guys, if you're coming up to surf in North Wales, go to Pwllheli.
Just next to Lidl.
Is it? By the Lidl. Is it called Lidl Rights? Lidl Rights and Aldi Lefts. You a Lidl man or an Aldi man?
I'll go to Waitrose. No, I'm just joking.
Have they got a Waitrose in Pwllheli?
No, I don't think they do.
No. I went
I'll
to
go to Lidl at the end.
I went to Pwllheli long time ago. I remember going to an Indian takeaway. Huge. I was with the Wales Tourist Board. I was for an advert. I'll tell you more about it in a second. Let's watch Alexander Shrub. Here we go. And he just
Oh, I
gets
just
a little bit
missed it
held
there
behind
on
that
the
one.
lift.
That's the the wind has changed direction a little bit, I think, and it's starting to blow sideways into the waves. So I went to Preseli with two-time European longboard champion Elliot Dudley, Welsh longboard legend, now turned Jersey-based expat Dan Harris, and my other half, Breach, Dan's other half at the time, Dominique, and we went up there for a Wales tourist board advert, right? So between the five of us, we had one job, which was to get on a wave in Hell's Mouth on our feet, and this cameraman was lying in the sand, right?
Yeah.
And he needed us to ride a wave behind a sheep.
Behind
Now
the
they
sheep?
brought these sheep up
Onto the beach?
from some farm, right, on the back of a tractor,
Yeah.
and these sheep are running around. So on the beach there's these sheep dogs, and they're trying to chase these sheep around, right? And this guy from this London ad agency, he turns up and he's got the picture he wants
Yeah.
sketched on a piece of paper, and it's a surfer cruising across a wave like a soul arch, and in front of them is a sheep on the beach, and then there's the Hell's Mouth Peninsula in the background, the rest of the fleet,
Yeah.
and a slogan, "Beware the great woolly whites." Right? And so we're in the water, and it was a big day. It was like 6
Oh,
foot.
here we go, Thomas.
Here he goes. Thomas. He's
Oh,
up on the
lovely
backhand,
pop-up.
and he makes it. Oh, and he
he
tracks
does the
back.
turns.
Oh,
Oh, there's a nice little couple of little turns there.
Probably not quite into the top two, do you think?
I'm not sure that was.
If he's going to beat that,
if
the
they're not,
five, if he's
was
going to
a-
beat the 5.53, it's going to come on his forehand, isn't it?
I
do you
think it might be quite a clean, because he got a nice takeoff. He was in the right position on the wave, and he
Yeah.
did do some turns and kept the speed going.
So
I
you
think
thinking he
could-
might get it?
I think he could get. Could get a good
6.64
score.
would be needed for the lead.
No, maybe.
We'll share that info with him.
Bring me out of that last one.
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
wait until he gets his score though. So I'll tell him. Le surfeur en rouge. Surfeur en rouge, vous êtes encore en deuxième. Vous avez besoin. Surfeur en rouge, vous êtes encore en deuxième. Vous avez besoin d'une vague à 6.64. Votre meilleure vague c'est 6.23. Donc vous avez besoin de quelque chose pareil que le premier vague. Vous avez un 6.23. Vous avez besoin d'un 6.64 pour passer en tête. Alexander Shrub in the yellow. Your second score is a 5.93. Et la dernière vague de le surfeur en
6.67, yeah,
rouge,
4.7.
il y a un change. Vous êtes en tête.
I thought that was going to be a good wave.
So he has got it.
Oh,
And here we
Ashley's
go,
on it.
Alexander Greenaway.
Oh.
Ashley Greenaway. Late takeoff. Le surfeur en rouge. No, the mic's not on yet. So Alexander Shrub will now need a 5.97. So he got the score. You were right, Josh. Le surfeur en rouge. Surfeur en rouge. I don't think the mic is on, is it? So I think we're getting a little bit of trouble with the beach mic there, but we'll try again. Surfer in yellow, you are now in second and you need a 5.97. Surfer in yellow, you're now second, you need a 5.97. Surfer en rouge, vous avez passé en tête avec un vague de 6.67. 6.67 pour la dernière vague. Surfer en rouge, vous êtes en première place pour ce moment. Surfer in yellow, you need a 5.97. Le jaune a besoin d'un 5.97.
So we got a good score from Thomas there. So Thomas is currently in the lead.
So here we go. Alexander needs a 5.97. Yeah, so the surf was big that day in Hell's Mouth.
And did you get the shot?
No, I'll tell you more about it in a minute. So here he goes. And
Oh,
he
lovely
makes the
pop-up.
takeoff.
Oh,
Oh,
just
and
next
that
to the
could
corner,
be. Is that his last wave?
I think that's the last wave. Unless
Yeah.
you get another one.
Have we got one more wave to come for everyone? We have got one wave remaining, so we're going to see a real duke out here. Yeah, so we didn't get the shot, right, because the surf was pumping. It was like 6 foot hell's mouth, hell of a paddle out.
Yeah.
We spent about an hour, like blue in the face, paddling out, catching a couple of waves each. And we come in, they're beckoning us to shore, and they're like, come here, come here. And there's London ad exec, he's going crazy because the ocean and the surfers and the sheep, nothing's agreeing with this picture that he's drawn in his studio, you know? And he goes, guys, I need you to be a bit closer to the beach. Like, can you stay less than 10 meters from shore? And so then, of course, only Elliot and Dan, with their longboards, are able to ride a piece of whiteboard to 10 minutes. And it takes about 10 minutes to get the shot once they come 10 meters from shore. So we're all out, you know, you're way out back in Hell's Mouth when it's like that, you know? And he's chasing the sheep everywhere, and but the shot exists. It's there, you can see it. You know, it's an advert on. You know, it's on the. It's not there anymore. I think it was a campaign from about. It was a while. You know, it was about a decade ago. But it's online. You know, you search Wales Tourist Board adverts, you can see that picture, and it's Dan Harris. You know, now of Jersey. So Thomas, here we go. He's going to need to try and better a 6.23 here. Call it first, Josh.
Oh, lovely. It's going in the nice pocket. Oh, I just missed that. Got caught in that white water going on the.
Although I called it out, yeah. Look, you can see his posse in front, lamenting the lost opportunity. But will Alexander Shrub make him pay for it? So, Thomas, he'll be having to do the nervous wait for Alexander Shrub to try and get the 5.97. So, no change to Red's situation there. Leaves the surfer in yellow. You need a 5.97 to take the win with your last wave. Here we go. Send them the info to wind them up. Yeah, so they took us anyway. They put us up in a B&B in Pwllheli, and then they took us for an Indian, which is not the best thing to go for the night before surfing. And it was a huge Indian. Like, it must have been room for like 500 people in there.
Really? No
and we were the only people in there. You know, so it was like a big, like long rolling. I remember, you know, like a big, long, deep Indian takeaway, if I remember rightly. And we were the only guys in there. So I don't know where that was in Pwllheli. And so here we go, Ashley Greenaway. So he needs a 9.4 to take the lead. And here he goes. And look, in keeping with the tradition of surfers getting their best wave as their last wave, Greenaway has done the same. So that's his best wave. He'll be stoked on that one.
Definitely be happy with that.
And buzzing. What an achievement.
It's so nice.
Hands together for Ashley Greenaway.
Alex got one more. This is to win it. Alex, up and out.
So this is it now. Alexander Shrub for the win. He'll be shouting everyone in Indian in Pwllheli if he can get the score here today. Pwllheli also famous for its woolworths that burnt down.
Is that?
Yeah. It was, I don't know exactly how it burnt down. Woolworths now long gone, a thing of the past. And Alexander Shrub is going to need, so this is going to be the last wave of the event if our calculations are right, Josh. And it's going to need to be, I mean, great, the event is going to end with a very gettable score. He basically needs to better his second wave. So he's already put himself a 6.93 on the board. He's got a 5.93 as his backup. He just needs a 5.97. And here we go. The plough, Llewellyn's Wain, swings into motion. Will the other star signs align? Alexander Shrub takes off, drops in, and blows the takeoff. So that is gonna take the win for Thomas de Silva. And so some Snowdonia perfection reels off. And so de Silva is gonna be our visually impaired champion today. The baffles soak up the remaining water from the wave. And you can hear the French voices shouting. The Israeli voices are shouting.
Thomas, the winner.
And so we've got a winner there, Thomas de Silva from France. And that wraps up the surfing part of this event. We're going to be going shortly to a half-hour break, and then we'll be coming back for a presentation, which will be live streamed. But I think before that, we're going to see if we can catch a little bit of Thomas de Silva's Stoke. As you see the wide view of the bay here, the Ben from Surfability, and that one is Ben this time, isn't it? From Surfability is taken to the water. They've been pushing people into the waves. In fact, Thomas has gone back out to catch another wave straight away. He's going for a free surf. We're not going to manage to interview him here. He's gone for a free surf. Shall we order him in? Well, he's going to catch another wave.
I think he's going to catch a few more waves.
He's going to catch a few more waves, and why not? Why not? As we were saying, oh, and they're on a race here. Will they catch the plough in time? I think they're not going to. It's going to reel off one perfect right-hander to itself. And so one empty one is going to roll down the bay, and we're going to have a little bit of a break. And so we will be back in approximately half an hour's time at 2 p.m. for a prize giving, and that will be streamed on this same website. Thanks for listening. Diolch am gwrando. Thanks for watching. Diolch am edrych. A gwelwch chi yn fuan pawb. See you soon.
Au reservoir.